welcome back to the Life's Good. I've been away for a few days with the bike club. We went down to Lincolnshire for a bike rally, so that took up 3 days this week, and I've been very busy at work as well, so consequently I haven't been able to put a video on for a few days. So realising that you might be feeling a bit neglected, I've made the effort to get out today, and going to give you a quick look at the vegetable area. And I wanted to discuss the tomatoes with you. I'm going to get one of my tomato plants out and show you a few points on there and how I tend and look after my tomatoes as they're growing in their pots. So bear with me, we'll move around the plot and I'll get one of the tomato plants out and see where we go from there. See you in a minute. I'm just stood down on the plot and just wanted to quickly show you how everything's coming on. Shallots coming on quite well. They're all filling out nicely. They were running to seed a little bit. Now, rightly or wrongly, I've cut the seed shoots or the stems off. If you look at this here, I've actually cut this one off. It was quite tall. I think some of this vegetables running to seed, a lot of it has to do with the weather. We've had some strange weather over the past few weeks, and the plants don't really know whether they're coming or going, or coming or growing, as it were. But yeah, these were running on, so I've taken the seed heads off, so they're starting to go brown on the leaves now, so it won't be long before I can harvest these shallots, dry them in the sun, and then they'll be ready to prepare for pickling. I've got my chard here, that's coming on really well. Some nice leaf on here. We have been taking some of the leaves for salads, so they've been very nice. My Lola Rossa now is getting a bit beyond it. I'm desperately trying to use it, but honestly guys, it's done really well. And we've had an abundance of salad from these, the leaves from these, and the lettuce behind the all year round. They've been absolutely fantastic, and all we've been doing is taking the outside leaves all the time, constantly picking leaves and leaving the plants growing in the ground rather than take a whole lettuce. And it's just gone on and on and on. We've had so much lettuce from this, it's been brilliant. Beyond that, I've got a little patch of radishes, if you remember, and I've got my garlic behind there. That was my shop bought garlic, and I keep looking at it, and it's just about ready for harvesting now, I think. I'm not sure whether to leave it just a little bit longer, just a few more days. Maybe by the weekend I'll have that up and see what it's like. I've got a couple of odd Calabrese plants there, and this is my peas. Now, Cheryl's been picking peas all week, almost every day, and I'll have to check with her exactly how many pounds of peas we've had from those. Now, just immediately in front of the peas, guys, you can see here I've got my leeks. Now, if you remember, I multi-sowed them in I think it was a 24 cell tray in the greenhouse originally, and I put the little plugs in the ground here along the front of the pea hedge, and if I can get you down, just let you see what they're like at the bottom. Now, traditionally you'd sort of make a hole, drop a leek plant in, and let it swell and fill the hole, and you get quite a long white stem. I'm not particularly worried about having the white stems. We just wanted some nice leeks to put in, I don't know, stews, casseroles and soups, as well as a side vegetable with our dinner. But I did the multi-sow, I beg your pardon, and if you look at the bottom here, you've got 3 or 4 in each little clump. I think you can see there's quite a few in that little clump, and what we would do is just twist out the biggest ones and pull those and use them, and leave the remainder to continue swelling and growing. Now, you may also remember I put out some salad onions, spring onions, scallions, I think my friends call them in America. So I've got a few extra spring onions growing here, but if we lift up and turn around, guys, I'm just going to take you back here in front of my parsnips, because if we get in here, I've got my spring onions here, the first lot I put in, and honestly, these are, I'm just going to try and pull one. These are absolutely delicious. I'm just giving it a little twist and a pull. There we are. In fact, the roots are pulled off of this one, but look at these. These are absolutely wonderful. They're a good size. They're thicker than a pencil or a pen. They're good finger thickness, and not too hot. I'm trying to remember what they were. I think they might have been ramrod. I'm not entirely certain. I'll have to double check, but I'm 90% certain these were my ramrod spring onions. And absolutely delicious, wonderful in salads, sandwiches and so on. So I've had a good crop here. I've actually got some more adjacent to the shallots, as well as the other ones coming on later behind the lettuce that I've just shown you. So yeah, plenty of spring onion or salad onions, which is nice. Parsnips are doing well. I was looking under here. I can't see much. I was looking to see if there was any crowns in here, guys, but I can't see anything just yet. Maybe in a few days' time, if I get the chance, if I can find one, I'll show you. Looking in here, you might be able to just make out, there's the crown on the top of that one, you see. So underneath there, the actual root, the parsnip root, is growing straight down into the ground. So that is the top, that's the shoulder there. So that's growing really well. So these are all about the same. And if we go further back, we've got carrots. If we come down inside, here we go. You see here, guys, this is the shoulder of the carrot, and here's growing straight down below there. Nice, reasonable sized carrot, about 1 inch across at the top, going down into the ground. And there's quite a few in here. Some are more developed than others, but looking forward to a few of those, I must admit. My sorrel's done really well. I've got lots of big leaves on here, extremely lemony flavour. Delicious in, well, obviously in salads and things. We use them with fish dishes as well. They are really, really nice. And then further back in here, we've got beets, or beetroot. Let's see if I can get you down in here, guys, and see what's going on in here. I don't know if you can see that very well. I'll just pull this leaf out of the way. There you go. Here you see that one there. That's a good sized beetroot there. I get my hand in the way, you can't see, but this one in here, there's two in there, side by side, of a reasonable size. They're, in fact, oops, sorry guys, I'm dropping you all over the place. There's actually three, you can see those now. There's three side by side, and a smaller one at the back. So I'd probably take out, I'd probably take this one first, use that, maybe that one, or that one, or maybe both. Leave this one behind to swell up a bit more. But the beetroots have been very, very successful this year. And I did promise I was going to ask Cheryl to explain what she does with them to make that little side relish that she makes and puts in jars that we use alongside all manner of meals, mostly meats, cheeses and things of that nature. And finally up here we've got my brassicas. Now my calabrese, actually, you can just see back there, it's gone to seed a little bit. They've got some yellow flower on there. So again, this climate condition, the strange weather, instead of it forming a nice tight head, it's actually shot up to seed, that one. Although the one behind it, if we can go up this little pathway, I'll just squeeze up here, guys. You can see here, I'm making a shadow, sorry. Calabrese head there and there, but they are a little bit more open than I would have liked. That one there is not too bad, a bit tighter. But this one, as you can see, has gone to flower, which is no good for us. But you can still use the leaves. You can use the leaves as a cabbage leaf type vegetable. Boil those or steam them, have them with your dinner. There's a few more back there. You can see they're not doing too bad at the back. And beyond that, of course, the rhubarb. We've had a few pickings off the rhubarb. I did move them at the end of last year. Rightly or wrongly, again there, I moved them to a new location. They were further back next to the chicken run, and I moved the crowns to here. So this year, actually, they haven't produced as much rhubarb as in previous years, but I'm sure once they get established, they'll be fine. But I am considering moving them yet again, so I'll keep you posted on that one and see what I do. But I wouldn't mind having that area for more other vegetables and find a better location for the rhubarb. Well, that's the vegetable plot, guys. I wanted to give you a quick look at the tomatoes. Now I'll get one of the plants out and show you various points on that. I've brought one of my tomato plants outside, guys, because it's a bit easier for me to get round it and point a few things out to you. These are my Elsa Craig tomatoes. Quite a tall plant, this one now, and I am actually considering topping it out, and by that I mean to take the tip out to stop it growing further. But actually it's got a little hand of more tomato plants there, so I might hang on to that a bit more and just take it a little bit further up. Now go back down the bottom, start at the base. Now you must keep your plants watered well. Do not let your tomato plants dry out. Now the lower foliage, you can see here some little nodules, and this is where I've actually taken off the lower branches to let the light get in. Let the air through, let the light in. Now if you look here in the middle of this branch here, I took out what we would call a side shoot. Get the string out of the way. In between this branch and the stem there was another stem growing out. We call that a side shoot, and I've nipped that out to allow the energy to go further up the plant. Now I've noticed here, this one, if you can see this one I'm holding here is a side shoot. You see how it's coming out the middle there, coming straight up here. This does not have fruit on it, although it's actually taking a lot of energy from the parent plant. So at that point there, I'll just twist that off, take it out and remove it. That is now gone. That's away. Don't need that. No fruit on there. That's just a side shoot. It was growing out of the middle. I've taken that away, and this little branch of leaves will carry on with the photosynthesis to provide energy for the main plant. Now if you come further up, you can see here, this is not a side shoot or a leaf shoot. This is totally different, comes off the side of the main stem and has little flowers on it. You can see these little flowers, and this is where the tomatoes form. Each one of these little flower buds will become, or should become, a tomato. So that is what we would call a hand of tomatoes, hang in there with the weight of the tomatoes on there. That will hang down, and my father, my grandfather used to call that a hand of tomatoes. Go further up, there's another one up here. You can just see it behind the pole. There's another hand here, and I think I noticed possibly, I'm just looking further up, guys, if there's anything on here. No. So what I will probably do is to top this out at this point, somewhere here, take the top off so that all the energy goes into the tomato production rather than foliage production up here. So that's your tomatoes. So that's all that's required to look after them, and when you do water them, it's always a good idea to give them feed. What I normally do is wait until the hands are forming on here, and that's at that point that I start putting a tomato feed in the water and the base of the plant there. And I can hear Daisy in the background. Daisy, you've always got something to say, girl. Huh? Say hello to the viewer. You gonna say hello? There we go. That's very nice of you. Yes, thank you. Right, guys, well, I'm gonna crack on. There's a lot to catch up with. I've got a lot of watering to do. I'm gonna pop this tomato back in with the others, and I think next time I might have a look at the chilies with you. We'll bring some chilies out, and we'll go through a little bit with the chilies. Right, I'm waving up and down looking at this plant. I'm gonna turn you around now, let you see the rest of the plot, and I think Cheryl's come out. Hello, Cheryl.
Hi.
We were just discussing the beetroots and what you do with the beetroot when you take it indoors.
Right, yes.
Would you mind telling us what you do to make that lovely little salad relish that you make?
Well,
Please.
I pick a few beetroots, then I take them into the kitchen and boil them, and once they're boiled I peel off the skin, and then I either grate them or mash them, and I either can put red onion in and or spring onion, chop it all up, add some balsamic vinegar, and a little bit of sugar or sweetener if you're on a diet like me. And and then I put it in a jar and it can keep in the fridge for at least 10 days up to, because of the balsamic vinegar.
So the balsamic vinegar sort of like pickles it, doesn't it?
It's sort of, yes, it's just a ready-made relish, that's all. You don't have to, you know, do anything fancy, but it's very good for your salads and things like that you want to add to the side of your dish.
I just wanted to reiterate for the viewers that when we pick the beetroots and you remove the foliage from the top, you don't cut it off with a knife or secateurs, do you? What do you do?
You just twist it and rip it off.
You twist it off.
It's the same when you boil it. You don't poke it with a fork because then it'll bleed more.
Right, and twisting the foliage off stops that bleeding effect coming out of the stems, doesn't it?
It does, yes,
So you leave the tap root on the bottom and the little bit of stem on the top.
You do.
Put it in the pan and boil it for how long?
About 20 minutes.
Okay.
A bit like potatoes.
And then you just push the skins off, rub the skins off, and chop them up or grate them. Do you know what? That sounds fantastic, and I think we should have some with our fish dinner tonight.
Yes, because I've got some in the fridge now.
There you go. Perfect.
And I'm just
you are
picking
spoiling
some
me,
sweet
Cheryl.
peas, look. Aren't these lovely?
Beautiful. And they smell gorgeous as well.
I like
yes.
them. I love them.
Right, sweetheart. Well, thanks for that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Well, guys, we've got a few things to do. I'm going to crack on, as I said. So we'll see you next time. Whatever you're doing, be safe, be happy, and come back. See us soon in the Life's Good. Bye-bye for now.